So I'm now joined with the Chemtrails. How are you guys?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks. Pretty good.
Yeah. How's lockdown been treating you?
Yeah, and in a way quite nice because lots of time to do projects, musical projects.
Yes.
So we have to kind of be the ones to say, working on an album, so I'm not gonna be doing it tonight. But now I'm like, well, there's nothing else to do, so I already started.
It's an excuse. Yeah, that's it. Have you found it quite nice and productive though? Has it been quite nice to write in this atmosphere? Have you found it quite an easy thing to do?
Yeah, I mean, I think it took a couple of weeks to get used to it. At the beginning, I wasn't that motivated, but since then it's been good.
We've been pretty busy, definitely doing well, because we're also doing some side projects with friends and stuff as well, which are the sort of things that we usually just don't have time to do. And we're like, oh yeah, we get all excited, we're going to record these songs with our friends, and then just nothing ever happens. But so now
we've been really working on songs together.
Yeah, we've been sending songs back and forth with friends.
That's amazing. I think this has taught us all how easy it is to send things to each other, because I mean I'm using sending stuff a lot more, and I'm like, the internet exists, I forget, and I'm well, I'm a millennial, what's this all about? Yeah. But you've had some really cool sessions that you've done. You've done one with the KXEP as well in America. That's amazing. How was that?
Scary, but amazing.
Yeah, it was really scary. Because it was live streamed
on the radio as well. On radio, you don't really get. If you look at someone and something doesn't sound quite right, it's still you have that visual aspect. So there was well, it might be listening on the radio, be thinking, what is this?
Every time I made a mistake, I was thinking of all these people in Seattle driving around in their cars,
and it's us on the radio. Yes. Have you been to America since you did that session, or is that something you'd like to do?
That was actually in London. Filmed.
So they came over.
We would love to go there at some point. Not that we've been officially invited, but maybe they will. But we are kind of planning on it for this album to potentially go and tour for a week. But I don't think that's going to happen.
No.
We haven't organised anything, but we were like, okay, maybe we can make it work. We've got some contact. But hopefully next year or whenever that's possible again.
Yeah, at least it gives you some time to plan as well, which is nice, especially because America, that's a big tour, and it's very exciting as well to get out there and get into those, because America love rock as well. They love that music, don't they? So it always goes down so well there, which is great. But I love the psychedelia in your music. I'm really, really digging that. Suck Your Mind is such a tune. I'm loving that. And that's the third taste we're getting of the new album, isn't it? So when is this album coming out?
Laura, when's it coming out?
15th of May.
15th of May.
Exciting. And what can we expect from this album?
Sort of a lot more big heavy songs like the ones that came out.
Yeah.
We just I think because the last record we released, Cookie Spit, was a bit more I guess a bit more tender for us at least.
What we consider tender.
We need to make something more aggressive. So just sort of had this urge to make a really heavy record.
Have you had a lot of songs that you've in the catalogue that you think that could have made the album but it didn't quite make it, or has everything you wanted to do gone in the album?
So a lot of the reject songs, because they didn't quite fit, are the ones we're working on now during lockdown. So kind of a bit more synthy songs, which we're doing everything with drum machine again at the moment because we don't have our drummer.
Yeah.
So in that sense, there were a lot of songs that didn't make on the album, but they just didn't fit thematically. I think we got everything we wanted on it, and then now we can just work on a side.
Yeah. Well, right now is quite a good excuse to do something a bit more minimal and electronic-y, while we don't actually have access to the rest of the band. So it sort of makes sense to just sort of finish some of those songs that didn't make it on to the album because they weren't rocking enough.
Well, it's nice to experiment as well and bringing a bit of electronica. It is nice, but I can imagine it fits with your sound really well as well. It must go in quite hand in hand with it, which is really nice. That's good.
Yeah. We'll see how it comes out.
Yeah. Do you know what? I love the artwork as well for all of the 2020 releases that you've been bringing out. Who's designed that? Because it's really cool.
It's our friend Steve, who I went to school with him. We've been best friends ever since. He actually did this bull that's on the wall behind us. You can see.
Wow, that's so
it's really
cool.
big. You can't really tell.
Far away.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's done all of our artwork. We've got a kind of standing order for artwork of him. He just actually, in some way, that was the reason why we made such an aggressive album, because he just painted some.
Well, the main album cover.
He made these, he made these collages, and I was just like, "Oh, can we use that as an album cover?" Because I really liked it. And then he was like, "Yeah, of course you can." And then I was like, "Right, now I've got to make some music that's heavy to go with this art."
That's a nice way to start, though. It's really nice to have a visual in mind and then craft a sound around it, because you're like almost crafting a story then, aren't you? That's really cool.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Had to sort of make a little world that goes with the pictures.
Yeah, because your music videos are really cool as well. There's something really trippy about them that I really like. They must be quite fun to make. Are they quite sort of DIY when you make them? Is it kind of like quite a DIY process?
Yeah, very, very DIY.
Yeah.
We just...
Well, we used green screen a lot on one of them, and then for our last one for Vultures, our previous drummer, because we moved to Manchester from London, and the drummer we had in London, who's back in California now, he is a graphic designer, so he did that, or like animation, he could do that. But once before, when we didn't have him, we were just like, okay,
that was just us, like
screen and
savagely pressing buttons,
animate.
Well, it worked. It looked good, so that's good. Do you work with a specific producer that you kind of work with all the time, or do you do a lot of self-producing yourselves?
We do everything ourselves, actually.
Yeah. So Luke from Punk Slime helps out with some stuff.
Oh yeah, that's true.
He mixed the drums, because we really struggled with mixing drums. There's too many of them. And he also did the vinyl mastering, but all the other production, me and I did it.
Yeah.
It's nice as well when you've kind of like, you've got it in your own hands, because you can be a bit more creative with it, can't you? And you can play around with a few sounds and things, and when you want to make it a bit mismatched, it works like really cool.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like, that's one of the reasons why I've never actually had anyone else produce it, because I just think they'll always do it too properly.
Yeah, it's too polished then, isn't it? And it's not.
Yeah, and I don't think we would work.
Yeah, I'm sure there was someone who could do something great, but it's just hard to. We haven't really met someone. If we knew someone who was really into production, then
I'm sure there's someone out. I'm sure there are producers out there for us. We haven't encountered them. So.
Well, your sounding big, so you're doing a good job on your own anyway. You're doing like a really good job, so it's like nice.
Since the very beginning. I wouldn't have fit it into one song beforehand. The layers we have.
So your balcony set, then, what can we expect from that on Saturday? Is that going to be a bit more stripped back?
Yes. So
just us two.
We've made some new backing tracks, because, like, obviously playing at home, we always play 2 backing tracks for fun, but we just made them sound a bit better. So it'd be a bit more. I don't know.
But they're pretty. They're fairly minimal.
They're very minimal, but rather than playing to like the drum track from the song, just like soloed, which doesn't sound that good.
And we'll be cracking out our green screen that we have from the videos.
Yeah. That's what I like to hear. I love the green screen. I love it. So what are you most looking forward to when lockdown finishes? Is there something that you're really looking forward to getting back into when we can go outside again?
Pubs, practicing with a full band, obviously music related. Just seeing some friends face to face would be nice.
Yeah, miss the rest of the band.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know, it must be really like weird when you're with a band a lot of the time, and then you kind of have to push things through social media to be like, look at this now, and I've written this and I've written that, and
also we kind of only just got together with the new Manchester lineup only maybe since January, so we're just getting ready to go. We had our first gig planned and then had to cancel that, and it's sad. It's a very sad time for this to be happening to us as a band, because we've just gotten to that point where we're ready to go.
Yeah, we spent ages looking for, well, not that long, I guess. We were fairly quick, but we found. So we were looking for a whole new lineup after having moved from London, and took us ages to find a drummer. And then, a couple of weeks after we found one, we were in lockdown. So
like, no.
We're hoping they'll still stay in the band, because so far we haven't really lived up to we get gigs, so we're good.
So no pressure. Oh well, I'm sure. Well, it makes us all really excited for it when we come out. So we're gonna see Chemtrails absolutely smash the live circuit when we come out of lockdown. Yeah. That's the plan, with a beer and some pubbing. Yes. Yes. Well, guys, thank you so much for chatting to me today, and I'm really, really excited to catch your set on Saturday as well. And we're really, really glad to have you as well. So it's going to be really. And thanks for being involved.
Thanks.
Oh, thank you so much, guys.
Cheers. Take care.